Hey guys, Cocker Spaniel here, giving you my prediction of what the meta breakdown for REDU slash 2012 REDU Rivals will be. A lot of this is going to be based mainly on kind of my own personal experience playing in the Sunday REDU locals in the Excalibur Cup that they host in the REDU server. A lot of decks that we've kind of been seeing has been a lot of decks that I think are like easy to like pick up, just like play for fun for the weekend. So like mainly like Dark World, like Wind Up, Geargia, Karakuri, Geargia. Just a lot of like decks that people like to play, like Insectors and stuff like that. I don't think we're going to see a lot of decks that people play in these locals in the REDU Rivals tournament, just because there is like a cash prize on the line. The locals is just like free for fun. Sometimes there's like a prize. And also looking at the format library event recently, the Wizards of Windup, we kind of saw a different like pool of like decks come through for that tournament. And I think we're gonna see a lot of different decks than we normally see in the REDU Rivals tournament. And so, if I had to rank them, Windups, I think a lot of good players are going to come out playing Windups. So I think Windups is definitely probably going to be, if I had to guess, like 6 to 12 plus in like the top cut, assuming they do like a top 16. Chaos Dragons, I'm probably going to have to put Chaos Dragons in S tier. People really like to play this deck. It's pretty consistent. A lot of good like side options that they have, and I really like Chaos Dragons. I think it's a very good deck. You kind of have like a meh game, like game one going in without having any like back row removal, and on the plus side though, your opponent is also going to have a lot of just back row their MSTs and stuff like that, and the heavies, which will be a little bit more so dead for Chaos Dragons. Insectors, I'm gonna have to put in A. I think Insectors definitely kind of have a lot going for them. A lot of players really like to play this deck, and just Hornet being able to pop something every turn is like kind of huge in my book. And their guys kind of get pretty big. A lot of XYZ access as well. Dino Rabbit, in the hand of a good pilot, Dino Rabbit definitely can perform very well, but I think a lot of inexperienced players are going to struggle like playing this deck, just because it requires like you to be a very good pilot. Dino Rabbit, I'm probably going to put it in A, because I think the players that will come out and play Dino Rabbit, they probably are going to play like very well. Good Dino Rabbit players, they know how to utilize like their back row very well, and being able to like just consistently like out a Thunder King or just any of the vanillas hitting the board and just like smacking into stuff is a little bit like overrated and kind of hard to deal with. So I think Dino Rabbit might be good. Hero Beat, I'm gonna have to put Hero Beat in B. This is mainly based on like Bubble Beat. Hero Beat's cool and a little bit consistent, but it's a little bit more like grindy and like mid range, and having like Super Poly is also like really cool. Bubble Beat, I'm gonna put in S tier. Bubble Beat can kind of just like steal games in OTK, and if you're not like ready for that, then you're definitely gonna get like have a lot of games kind of like just ripped from you. Well, not like ripped, but if you don't like prepare and like play accordingly, you're definitely going to get OTK'd. Having a double arm ninja and Excalibur is just really crazy. Kind of can come out of nowhere, and having like Call of the Haunted, Miracle Fusion, Monster Reborn. You're going to be able to like swing back and make a comeback pretty fast, and if like the board is open, if like wind up's kind of brick, then like all your stuff's just gonna get run over. Dark World's a little bit too RNG reliant. I think in the locals it did pretty well, just because like people like taking that, like just playing it for fun, and over the course of a very long tournament, I think Dark World kind of suffers, just because it's like it just depends on how you open up. People really don't like Dark World, and people are going to have a lot of Dark World hate in the side. So I'm probably going to put Dark World in B. Agents I think are okay. Like, they're fair, and the agent engine like does what it needs to do. And depending on the build, I think a lot of builds aren't like really running like a lot of traps in their lineup, and it's pretty similar to Tengu. I don't think agents have a lot of access to a majority of like the good XYZ cards in the format, and I think a lot of decks utilize their extra deck a little bit more better. But having just like the Shine Balls, Gachi, Hyperion is just kind of huge, and also having 3 Call of the Haunted is also like really good, and one of the few decks that can also run Herald. So if you're running like Max C, you can Max C and eventually like draw into like a Herald or a Veiler. So we haven't seen like too many Hyperion decks coming out, but in the recent locals I've seen a couple. So I want to say that some players are probably going to end up like choosing to bring Hyperion. I think I'm going to have to put that over Down Rabbit. 6 Hams. I can't speak on 6 Hams enough, so I'm just going to put it in B, because I know it's like a fan favorite, and there definitely are like some good pilots who that's their main like pet deck, or like their favorite deck. So I think we'll see like some turnout. Pure Geargia. I'm gonna have to put Geargia in S, just for the consistency. Their game plan, like once they get like their resources going, then it's kind of hard to out, and just overall like pretty consistent. Geargia Karakuri, I'm also gonna have to put an S, probably in front of Pure Gears. I like what Geargia Karakuri kind of brings to the table. The Karakuri stuff can definitely like net a lot of advantage, and just synergizes well with the Geargia flip guy. I'm forgetting his name, but being able to do that, draw a few cards, it's kind of a lot, and things can kind of get out of hand pretty fast. And it's not too many like main deck and extra deck additions to like run this engine, so I think it's a little bit better than Pure. Geargia Machina, I'm probably gonna have to put it in A, kind of at the bottom. That's good. Having like the Machina Fortress is pretty good. Like a decent like stat line, and also just like having to play around him. I think it's good, but I think the Karakuri and Pure kind of just bring a little bit more to the table, especially since you have to like pitch a lot. Geargia and Gears. I've only played against this like once, and I don't. It's good. I think it's like okay, but I'll probably have to put it in B, just because Probably C, just because like there's not a lot of representation. And I think these hybrid builds are a little bit more popular. I think it's what people are going to go for, especially since these two have seen like previous success in the previous REDU locals. Pure Karakuri. I'm gonna have to put it at the top of C. I personally haven't seen a lot of representation, and it's kind of a similar issue to windups. You have to have like two cards to be able to like do the engine, like play the game and just do Karakuri stuff. And compared to what like Girya can bring, I think Karakuri a little bit more like lower, just kind of on its own. Pure Machina, I frankly have no idea, so I'm gonna put it in D. Psychics, I've seen like some hype and some people playing it. I personally haven't seen any like matches or a lot of the lists. I think it's seen like one or two like players in some of the tournaments, at least like in the top like 16 or top 32. So Psychics, I'm probably gonna put here. Not too sure, but I feel good there. Ninjas, frankly, I have no idea. I know they got a lot of support and there's a lot of like fan favorites, but I don't think we're gonna see like too many like ninja players. Like there's at least going to be one. People really like to play like the decks that they really like, and kind of same for like Evil Sword. There's definitely going to be like someone out there playing it. I actually kind of like it and see it's not like a popular deck or like regarded as like very good, I think, but also in the hands of a good pilot, someone who's like played it a lot, I think it could do okay. And also just being able to bring out a lot of like Evil Swords and make like Dolkuya and Laga, like making like two in the same turn is kind of like crazy, kind of huge. But I mean, compared to Dino Rabbit, it's like, yeah, you can have like 1, 2 of the Evil Sword XYZs, but Dino Rabbit, it's like just much more like simple. You have your rabbit, you do your play, set a bunch of back row. With Evil Sword, you just have like the two guys, like 1 or 2 guys, and like your follow up after that is kind of like Hieratics. Hieratics, I think I'm actually going to put in A tier. I think what this deck can do with Atum and REDMD is kind of crazy, and also being able to bring out REDMD consistently, making like your virus cards live is kind of crazy. REDMD also has like a big stat line, and just all the dragons kind of have like a big stat line. Gravekeepers, I think in kind of in the same vein of like Dino Rabbit, having like big guys with like Necro Valley is kind of huge. Necro Valley having like a very good like printing is also like a huge thing going for it. It's like a good grind game, and the spell that pitches all your stuff in your hand is also huge, but also not consistent. You do have like duality and stuff like that. I'm not too sure about this. I don't even know if I've seen anyone playing like Gravekeepers, but I think they're okay. I think I'd probably put this like here. I don't know what this is. I am assuming this is either, I think it's what's the name? Synchroplant. I mean, compared to Tengu, it's like not what it's not what it used to be. It could be better, but like not having like Bowl, not having the third like Tengu, not having the third tour guide, it just kind of like sucks. In the hands of a very good pilot like Nuki is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to watch him play. I solely based off of Nuki, because I know he's either going to be playing this or like Teledad or something else. I think Chaos Plant's probably going to have to go here. I think it's okay. In the hands of Nuki, though, I think I can see it like topping though. this deck? I'm not really sure. X Sabers is... I got the Adams Loop. I don't know what else they have like in regards to this format because I haven't seen it a lot. I'm okay with putting it there. Frogs, Frogs kind of whatever, but being able to like tribute summon a lot for like whatever you need, it's kind of cool. So I think I'll put it there. Glad Beasts. I don't think Glad Beasts are that great. I'm sorry. Dragoonity. Dragoonity's like, that's cool. That's okay. I'm gonna have to put Dragoonity there. Also, like Dark World, I think is good about this is like versus like good or representation. Dragoonity, I don't think we're gonna see a lot of representation. I think the deck's like pretty solid though. I think it's cool. It can do a lot of cool plays. It definitely sucks like not having Trishula though. Lightsworn, I'm gonna have to put here. I really like the Lightsworn engine. JD doesn't have Prio, which kind of sucks, but still kind of a lot going for it. Being able to nuke the board, bring out JD, mill a lot, bring out like a lot of mill your wolves, get like rank 4 plays going, a lot of drop power, a lot of good like chaos targets like Sork, BLS. I don't know if Lightsworn does play like darks, but just milling a lot. Also having like Monster Reborn and bring back your stuff like your Lila, your JD, other stuff like that, I think is like, it's okay. It's got some stuff going for it. Infernity. I don't like Infernity in this format, and I don't think we'll see a lot of representation. Pure Blackwings. I have no idea. I'm gonna put Blackwings here. I believe this is Teledad. Teledad's okay. I think it's an alright deck. I think it's cool. You can also bring out like Shockmaster. Like it's kind of hard, but you can make Shockmaster, and I think Teledad's alright. Gishki. No. Aliens. I don't know. I haven't really seen either of these decks too much. Not like gimmicky by any means, but like, and have access to like, I think aliens have access to like a few like cool traps, and also being able to like steal some of your opponent's monsters is also very cool. But I don't see it. So this is my prediction for REDU Rivals #1. I think we're gonna see decks that people really like to bring, that have seen a lot of play in previous like tournaments, and I think with this one we're going to see a lot of really good players come out, a lot of really good pilots. Like I didn't really elaborate on windups too much, just because in my personal opinion I think windups are the best deck in the format, just because of like what they can do, being able to just grind through your opponent's resources, accrue more resources than your opponent, and then also like being able to crack back whenever you need to, or like combo and go for game. Magician Shark is cool, but the deck can kind of lose to itself, and I think we're going to see like a lot of like wind up pilots gonna like drop, like going like X2 or like round 3 or 4, just because this deck is extremely hard to pilot. You have to put in a lot of time and effort, like knowing the combos, knowing the format itself, how to play the deck, how to pace yourself, and also put yourself in a position where you can gain a lot of like just resources through grinding through Rabbit, grinding through Factory, Magician of Faith. The really big continuous spell that we're seeing a lot of play of is Messenger of Peace. That is going to end up like netting you 3 or 4 cards on its own, and if you have a Factory in play, your opponent's going to have to MST like one or the other, and so they're going to try and hit Messenger of Peace, but you'll still have Factory, So I really like wind up. I think we're gonna see like either wind up, Chaos Dragon, Bubble Beat, and Geargia Karakuri see like take the win. If I had to bank though, I would say wind up though. So that's been my prediction. Cynical Spaniel here, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.